All right. Welcome. Henry, how you doing this morning, man?
Johnny, what's going on? Can't
Not too
complain,
much.
brother. Can't complain. Go
Awesome.
Heels, go Heels.
Go Heels. Ah, that's what's up. Yeah, man. It's the last game of the season. Getting amped up. Close out the college football season.
It
All
is,
right.
it is.
Welcome. Henry, how you doing this morning, man? Hold on.
Hey, what's going on? Can't
Not too
complain,
much.
brother. Can't complain. Go
Awesome.
Heels, go Heels.
Go Heels. Ah. All right. I think we're good to go. I had the feedback. I think YouTube, it popped up on me. But today we're going to be talking about goal setting. It's going to be interactive. Just thank you and everybody tuning in to kind of go through this session. It's something I usually go through personally to kind of set my goals for the year, set the vision for everything that's coming up in the new year. And so it's a framework that I think that a lot of people can benefit from, and which was the reason why I wanted to tee this up today. So we'll go through. It's meant to be interactive. So feel free when we get to some of the sessions where you actually go through and actually write out the goals, that if you have a question or two, by all means go through. I'm actually going to go through the process myself. So make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to walk through this together as we go. So starting off, we're going to talk about goal setting, making a plan. This isn't specific to only real estate investing. You can use it as a real estate investor. It's something that I use to set goals, but this is something that I use to develop goals for all across my life, whether it's personal, relationship, financial, spiritual, whatever goals that you have for your life, because I'm a true believer that you have to be balanced. You can't just go all in and structured in just one area of your life, because you're going to be out of balance. That you're going to have to be well balanced and established in different areas. So kind of through the setup for the agenda, we're going to go through some motivational stuff here up front, talk about some quotes. We're going to have a video with Coach K. Then we're going to go through and actually talk about the acronym SMART, with setting SMART goals. What does that mean? And then actually we're going to have an engagement activity where you actually go through, and we're going to go through and set a goal and break it down using that framework. And then we're going to talk about vision boards a little bit. If you're bored with your life, you don't get up every morning with the burning desire to do things, then you don't have enough goals. Lou Holtz is a successful football coach, but this applies to everybody. If you don't have a burning desire every day that you get out of bed, that you wake up and you're like, oh, I got so much stuff to go. I can't roll over. I can't hit the snooze button. It's time to go. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I thought through what I need to do today, last level. How are they successful? And I'm a true believer that success leaves clues behind, and there's nothing new under the sun. When you start looking at successful people, a lot of them do the same things. And that's one of the things that we're talking about when we're talking about setting goals for our life. But now we're actually going to look at the framework with how to set those goals. When you start talking about the SMART acronym, when you mean you have a specific goal, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. And so we're going to go through today and kind of talk through each one of those pieces of SMART and break it down a level deeper about just being able to create goals that we can actually successfully execute this upcoming year. It's the end of the year. It's a great time to set goals, not New Year's resolutions, but really come in to a point where you give yourself an opportunity to really be successful, not just set something arbitrarily and you go
have I had
January,
pineapple 60 times?
you're able to try to go through, and then next thing you know, February, you're all back to where you were at the beginning of the year. We're not approaching this new year in that same manner, that we're actually going to set SMART goals, whereas that now we can set ourselves up for success. So creating specific goals. A specific goal has a much greater chance of being accomplished rather than a general goal. I think we all will agree, if you can be specific about something and not really general, that you're going to set yourself up for success. Creating a specific goal. We've seen this before, the 6 W's: who, what, where, when, which, and why. But in order to be specific, I can talk this morning, get some water. You want to know these things. You want to know these 6 W's. we always say who, what, where, when, and why, but which I think is one that we roll in when we start talking about goals. Who should be involved? Is it just yourself? Is it your spouse? Is it your children, your family? Is it somebody on your team, within your company, one of your employees? What do I want to accomplish? What is the goal? What is the vision that you're casting for yourself in this realm? Whether it's business, whether it's emotionally, it's mentally, it's physically, whatever is going on. If it's a financial goal, where is this going to take place? Is it identify a location? Is it going to be, at the house, at the job? Is it going to be a vacation in a distant place, a location or somewhere that you want to go and travel to? But where is this going to actually take place at? Establish a time frame. When are you going to do it? Are you going to show up every day, 1 hour after work in the evening time, 1 hour in the morning before you go to work? Is it maybe it's something that's going to happen at lunchtime, or maybe it's a Saturday thing that you're going to dedicate time to accomplish this every Saturday? Which identify the requirements and constraints. Understanding the boundaries of it is going to help you be laser focused and successful at whatever it is that you're ironing out that you want to do. And then lastly, why? What are the specific reasons, the purpose, or the benefits of accomplishing the goal? Why is this important to you? Why is it important for you to purchase a rental property this year? Why is it important for you to purchase an apartment building? Or why is it important for you just to achieve $5,000 of passive income? We're just arbitrarily throwing a goal out there that you may have. Why is it important for you to achieve this goal? I think once you get really, really specific and you understand why you're doing what you're doing, every day we accomplish so many different tasks. We take on so many actions in life. But do we really honestly know why we're doing it? Is it leading to a greater cause? Is it leading us to a position of where we want to be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Are we taking those steps in order to be successful at accomplishing it? And a lot of times we just don't go through and understand what it is that we're doing. And so being specific really allows us to align all of our daily activities with those goals that we have for our life. And that's why it's really important to set those goals up separate from not necessarily separate, but all encompassing of our lives, and not just we're not just talking about financial goals, that these are just goals in general that we have across all facets of our life, whereas that now we can be on point with everything that we need to do, whether it's setting a time that we want to go on a date night once a month with our spouse, or once a week, even if we're in the house and everybody's going to bed and we're just going to dedicate this time, we're going to watch a movie or catch a dinner together where it's just quiet time with us. Whatever it is that you need to do, you need to set those boundaries and set those goals in place where you can be successful. All right, let's move it on now to the M in SMART, measurable. We need to set measurable goals, and being able to establish a concrete criteria for measuring progress towards attainment of each goal that you set is essentially measurable. You got to be able to measure whatever it is that you're doing. In business, I like to say you can't change what you can't measure. If you're not measuring performance, a lot of times you'll hear a lot of people say KPIs, your key performance indicators. For real estate investors, I'll push it back on that one. It's like, okay, how for a business to get a deal under contract, it's like, okay, how many leads am I contacting? How many leads are responding? How many phone calls have we had? Okay, how many appointments have we gone on? Okay, how many contracts have we awarded? And how many deals have we closed? So you kind of walk through the business cycle. Okay, now if you tell me how many times you reached out and had a conversation about buying a house, now I can tell you, like, okay, we can measure your performance on how good you are at sales call. Maybe you're setting, you're talking to 100 people, you're setting 10 appointments, 10% is great. But if you're not getting any contracts, then okay, maybe we need to work on this piece right here with the conversations that you're having with homeowners to better understand why you're not building rapport and why you're not able to be successful at getting these properties under contract if they're motivated sellers. And so being able to measure your performance, you can understand how you're performing and where you can dedicate more time to be successful in your business. But being able to have measurable goals. For me this year is I want to pick up 2 multifamily properties this year. That's my goal that I'm shooting for in 2023. I want to pick up 2 more multifamily to add to the portfolio. Also, I want to help 100 people get their first or next real estate investment this year in 2023. I can measure that performance. So with that, I need to be helping around 8 people every month get their first or next deal. And so from there, I got to start building out, okay, that's essentially 2 people a week that I'm talking to that's actually taking action, that's taking steps toward getting that goal. And that's the kind of where I'm measuring myself at, with understanding, okay, how many people am I influencing, how many people am I having conversations with in order to make this come to fruition. And the same thing was like, okay, what's a more efficient way to do that? Okay, let's have a couple boot camps, bring people in that's serious about real estate investing, and now we can touch a large group and get people motivated and get people moving out and taking action in that in attainment of me being able to help this many people. And so it's the same thing for you with being able to establish that measurable goal, is understanding, okay, what does this look like for whatever it is? And you got to have it whereas that you can come in and measure whatever it is, how much, how many. When we start talking about quantity, how will you know it's accomplished? That you just can't say, yep, I want to be a real estate investor this year. Well, what does that mean? Like, well, I want to buy some houses this year. Like, okay, how many? How much do you want to pay for them? So you got to set that goal so you'll know when you make it, so you can know what it is that you're chasing. And because that's the thing, a lot of times that we just kind of arbitrarily, we're really vague and not specific about what we want to accomplish in our lives. And we just kind of go with the flow. We lose enjoyment. We kind of fall by the wayside. And a lot of that is because we haven't set a measurable goal for whatever this is that we're going after. It was like, okay, and we'll talk about, the next one when we get to the R with it being realistic, but you got to set measurable goals so you can understand what it is that you're going, and so we can course correct along the way. Whereas that if I got to pick up 10 houses this year, if it's month 6 and I ain't got one house, I got to change what I'm doing because I'm not hitting the mark on measuring my performance on where I should be in attainment of this goal. And so that's something that we always want to keep and measure performance on a weekly basis, monthly basis, your quarterly basis, know our metrics and our numbers. Where should we be at if we want to hit this mark by the end of 2023? The A, creating attainable goals. When you identify your goals that are most important to you, you want to begin to figure out ways you can make them come true. All right, how can I attain this goal? All right, is it really realistic for me to help 100 people? Well, I can do different things. I can talk to people. I got a few thousand people in my Facebook friends. I can start talking and posting. That's an avenue to reach a lot of people and talk to people. Social media across the board is a great way to reach out to people. But how is it really attainable? Do I have a coach? I want to go and buy 5 houses, but I never bought one house before. Is that realistic? Is that really attainable for me if I don't have anybody that's guiding me through that process? I want to lose weight. I want to lose 20 pounds. Have I ever, been someone that was dedicated to the gym? Do I have a workout routine? Is this something that I can really accomplish on my own? Or do I have a fitness coach that's going to help me? I got a plan. I got a gym membership. I've said that I'm going to go 3 times a week. Every week, I'm faithful to it. Is that attainable to lose 20 pounds in 1 year? Yes. Is it attainable to lose 20 pounds in 1 month? Probably not. So that's the thing that we want to make sure. We want to make sure that our goals align with the time frame that we set and make sure that they are actually attainable, because we don't want to set ourselves up for failure because we set goals that aren't necessarily attainable. Whereas that, we say, hey, I want to go buy 1,000 units this year. Can you do it? You probably could, but you got to have a lot of strategy. You got to be on it, and you got to have a lot of access to deal flow. But if you say, hey, I want to pick up my first apartment this year, by all means, that's definitely attainable. So that's the thing that we want to go through with our goals, that we want to make sure that we're setting attainable goals. How do you do that? So you can read here, but going through, but you want to establish a realistic time frame to carry out the steps that you said that you want to measure, that you want to go out with, going in and bringing that specificity to it. That allows you to be able to make sure that it's attainable. When you break that goal down over the course of a year or a quarter, or however you want to measure it. Now, is this a realistic goal? Do I have somebody else that has accomplished this goal? Let me ask them, do they think that this is attainable by the time frame that I'm giving myself? Is this really realistic? And then from there, you can go through and understand, okay, I think this is on point with what I'm trying to do. And then from there, if they're, you may have to adjust. Maybe they're too far away. Maybe you need to give yourself more time, more runway in order to accomplish what it is that you want to do. Or you may need to shrink. It's like, hey, you can do this. You need to be more aggressive. You need to 10x this. You can go and do a whole lot more. I think that you're holding yourself back. You're not being realistic, or I think that you have the resources and the time to be successful. So I'm going to push you to stretch your goal because I think you're making it too easy. Like, hey, I just want to pick up one investment property this year. And I was like, well, you know, looking at what you're doing, what you have at your disposal, like, man, you could really go and get 3 this year and get you really, really close to where I know that you want to be in 5 years. Whereas that now don't play it safe that at just one, that you don't give yourself enough justice at what you can actually do. And so that's one of the things I think that with having mentorship, being in a community like this with the REI Genius, what we're establishing, where you have a community around you, where you're not just kind of going through life willy-nilly, you're going through real estate investing alone, but now you have a community around you that can help you tap into your own genius when it comes to real estate investing. And that's what we're all about with the community. Realistic. So we get into the R and SMART. Creating a realistic goal. To be realistic, a goal must represent an objective toward which you're being both willing and able to work. It's got to be realistic. If we come in here and we say, hey, I want to buy 10 houses each month across this year, like, no, if you never bought a house before, that's unrealistic. You know, you got to be understanding where you are and have a realistic goal. And I think that's one of the things we're going through, that a lot of times we have good intentions up front. We set goals but they're unrealistic. It's like, you know what? I'm going out here, I'm doing X, Y, Z. And the next thing you know, in March, you completely fell off because you overwhelmed yourself because you didn't have a realistic goal. You weren't able to set yourself up where you could see some small successes along the way. You know, you're chasing this dream of, I want to build a 100 house portfolio in 1 year, and you only get 2 houses in 1 year, which is in 1 month. That's great, but you're nowhere near trying to get to 100. And you get discouraged, and a lot of times you can't see the forest for the trees and see, hey, you're making some good success. Maybe you should just say 10 instead of 100 and start there. And so those are the things that we have to understand, that we have to be realistic with our skill set, with where we are right now, with our resources that we have, whether it's time or money. Where are they at? How do they align with our goals? Is it realistic? Do I truly believe that this can be accomplished? We got to be realistic with ourselves up front. And I think it's really good to have a community, and that's what I love about mastermind groups, is when you have like-minded people around, you can bounce ideas off. Like, hey, I have weekly accountability groups within certain mastermind groups that we are, and we actually have them within my 16-week accelerator too, that we're about to set those up for clients. Whereas that now within yourself, you have somebody that you can always talk to in your group, like, hey, this happened today. I got this bid. What do y'all think about it? Or jump, and we're always in WhatsApp. We're joking around, but then when somebody has a question, like, hey, did you listen to this podcast? They were really talking about this cool creative financing strategy. Make sure you check this out. Or, hey, I just got this estimate from my contractor. What do you think about it? Or how do you think I need to get another bid? And we're constantly, because I believe iron sharpens iron. We're constantly talking, we're chopping it up, we're going through and having discussions to make sure that we're creating realistic goals when we're going through the day-to-day execution of our business, with our portfolios, we're making decisions. It's always good to make decisions with other people that can give you wisdom and knowledge and experience can bring to help you make better decisions at whatever it is that you're doing in your life. Have I accomplished anything similar in the past? Is this something new or foreign, or is this something you've been doing over and over again? Then, okay, yeah, it's realistic. You got the skill set to be able to deliver that type of goal at that level. Can I identify the conditions that would have to be put in place essentially to accomplish this goal? Is the environment that you're in conducive to you being successful? And I think that's the thing that you need to understand, because a lot of times the goals that we set out to achieve, sometimes the environment that we operate in, we don't control it. that, the economy, we can't control the economy. As a real estate investor, we can't control interest rates. We can't control, demand with retail buyers if we're looking to flip houses. One of the strategies that we leverage, that we buy, renovate houses, and we flip them, sell them to retail, whereas that now we can take that profit and we can buy multifamily to hold long term. And that's the strategy that we use. But as the retail market slows down, you have to adjust your strategy. Now we're more focused on buying single family houses that we could potentially rent out, or we can sell to investors that's looking to pick up passive income through single family homes. And so now we have to adjust your strategy as the market and the environment that you're operating in changes. And, if we were operating in Phoenix or Boise, Idaho, or Las Vegas or Austin, Texas, markets that had a large amount of appreciation over the last couple of years, that now are starting to see a dramatic downturn in those markets, then it would be more, definitely it'll be more, the environment will be more unstable, or with I was in turmoil, more than say like Alabama. There's more realistic. It hasn't seen a lot of the perturbations that you've seen with some of these markets. We don't have large swings up or down, and then it kind of just goes with the flow, and it's kind of more tolerant of the changes in the economy. And so in our market, we don't necessarily have to make wholesale changes like that. And then also, with the strategies, one of the strategies that we leverage, we focus on workforce housing, first-time home buyers. Whereas now houses that are less than 200,000 in most of the markets that we operate in, whereas that now we're sheltered from, say, if we had a $600,000 house that we had a renovation where we have a whole lot more costs, it comes with a whole lot more risk. And we all know that when changes in the economy happen, that it happens at the top first, that the people with the most expensive houses, they stop buying. Those are the ones where transactions stop first, and then it trickles down to those with the workforce, because there's a lot more people that can afford a $200,000 house in our market than they can afford a $600,000 house in our market. And so just knowing those things in your business, that you can change your strategy and adjust your strategy and make sure that your goals are realistic at the end of the day. And then lastly, timely goals. All right, are we giving ourselves enough time, or are we giving ourselves too much time? But a goal should be grounded within a time frame, that with no time frame tied to it, there's no sense of urgency. You got to have time. One of the things that I learned with my beta coaching program this past year, before we launched it fourth quarter this year, that you have to have time bound. Whether it's, from real estate investors that we brought into the program that didn't have a time frame, like, oh, yep, you got a whole year, come in and get a deal, that you had a mixed bag. You had some people that were aggressive, that were going after it. Then you had some that didn't show up. They weren't interested in accountability. They weren't looking to, really get after and start building wealth and continue to diversify their portfolio to pick up assets. And so that was one of the things that we learned, that we have to set this as an attainable goal. It has to be timely. That I found that the sweet spot to get a deal was 16 weeks, about 4 months. 4 months from going through the curriculum, going through that process. That for those that's really interested in taking action and serious about it, 4 months is the really good time frame to get the education, to start taking action, to build some momentum up, and then start executing to get that deal. And so that's one thing that we've learned, that having timely goals is you got to have a sense of urgency, because eventually we're going to all run out of tomorrows. That tomorrow's not promised. And the more and more you think about it, we don't have a lot of time left. I'm 40 years old. Was that the average male lives to be around 72, 73. So you got 33 years. Okay, eight hours of each day. I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep, take care of myself. So that's a third of the time I got left on earth going to sleep. And then if I'm having to work a job for somebody, there goes another 8 hours gone. So when you start thinking about it, then, I got, kids events, different things like that, practices, the games, which that's all great quality time. But when you start thinking about it, we don't have a lot of time left to focus on ourselves, to focus on our portfolios, to focus on our legacy and building wealth, that we have to have a sense of urgency, that we can't just keep dragging this out longer and longer. We're taking advantage of what we know we need to do, because we all know that we need to set our families up to be in a better position than how they were when we came on. At least for me, I didn't come with a silver spoon. That I've been working hard, and I was joking with my wife and mother-in-law a couple of weeks ago. It's like, man, I've been working a part-time job for 7 years now. I've been blessed to be active duty Air Force for over 17 years now. But when we started our business in 2015, we're renovating homes. That it's essentially that it's been started off as a side hustle, and now it's grown to a full-blown business where we got employees, we got a team that's making the business happen and executing, where I had to become a boss, even though I'm still working my day job. Whereas that now, when I retire in 2.5 years, I don't have to necessarily work for anybody else. I can just work on my business and continue to do what I want to do and to pour into other people and help other people do the same thing that I was able to build. And so that's the thing, that we have to be timely, because time is a precious commodity. And a lot of people say time is money, but time is infinitely more valuable than money. That's something that I once I learned that concept and just, looked at the time, that if you're sick, you look at Steve Jobs, who was a co-founder of Apple. He was one of the richest men in the world, but he couldn't buy time. He died of cancer, and he had all the money in the world, but he couldn't buy more time. And I know he would have given anything to give up all that wealth to have more time on earth, but he wasn't able to do it. And that's the thing, whereas that I use the analogy, if I was to give you $1 million and tell you that, you would have to die tomorrow, if I gave you this $1 million cash right now, today, you only had 24 hours to leave, you wouldn't take it. Why wouldn't you take it? Because guess what? Your time and being alive is way more valuable than that $1 million. And we know this, but we don't operate and live our lives like that. That time is more valuable than money, because we go work 40, 50, 60 hour work overtime to get time and a half. And we're working, just trading our time away that we could be spending with our loved ones. We could be, going after causes that we're passionate about, or whatever the case may be. We're trading our time away that we could be doing other things with. And the last thing I say with timely is that you want to accomplish this stuff in a fast manner and get there where you can spend it and you can reap the fruits of your labor with those that you love, and spend time with those, where you're not continuing to work hard till you're 65, 70, and then you may have 5, 10, 15 years left, and you've traded 70 years of, or maybe 50 years of working life up front, just working hard, when there's a different way, and there's a better way through real estate investing, where you can maximize your time and be able to make your money work harder than you are working. And once you figure out how you can get that velocity of money working on your side, and now your money is out there working hard for you, you don't have to work hard by trading time, that now you bring it in a whole lot faster, you build wealth faster, and now you can go on those trips with your loved ones. Because one of the things that I always look back on is like, man, I worked kind of hard and doing this, with creating a side business, but I lost my mom back in 21. And it's like, okay, dang, everything that I do past this point, what if I had achieved this 5 years faster, where we could do all these things and make all these memories and do all this stuff together? If I would have been more aggressive, would have did this than the mastermind, got out here and started networking, talking to other people, and started this wealth building journey faster than I did. We don't have to have regrets, but for today and moving forward, we got to have that sense of urgency and make sure that we're setting timely goals and we're serious about them. And also, timely can also be for tangible, making sure that you can experience with your senses. You can taste it, touch it, smell. We'll talk a little bit about the vision board and that piece with it being tangible, whereas that you're always kind of having it within your vision, and always having it up front and center with what you're doing, whereas that you can make sure like, hey, no, yeah, probably I'm not gonna go out with you guys to the club and stuff. No, I got to work on the business tonight. No, I can't join the fantasy football league this year. Hey, I'm gonna use that extra hour to put in work here in this area, to build wealth for the family. So it's just making sure that you're being able to recognize that your goals and what you're doing, that you can visualize it, you can taste it, sight, hearing, something that will jog your memory. And like, hey, do you remember how the beach smelled? We went to the beach. We want to go on this trip to Aruba. Do you remember how the seawater smelled when we were there on the beach, just laying there, or just whatever it is that can make sure that you keep that goal at top of mind. So real quick, we're gonna bring the pen and paper out. We're gonna take a few minutes here to write down a list of your short-term goals. So we're gonna write out 5 goals that you want to accomplish in this year coming up. 5 short-term goals that you want to accomplish in the year. After that, then we're going to go through, we're going to circle the top 2 goals, and then we're going to kind of give them priority, number 1 and number 2. After that, we're going to take another 5 minutes and we're going to write out our long-term goals that we want to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years. And then do the same thing. We're going to circle the top 2, And then we're going to number those in priority. Just so we can kind of have an understanding the next year what we want to do, but then also we want to look out the next 5-10 years. What do we want to bring to the table? What do we want to do for our lives? So we'll do that, and I'm gonna do the same thing myself. What's your name? All right. Anybody want to share? Share a couple of their goals they set?
Sure. I like to share.
Oh, hold on 1 second. There we go. I can hear you now.
Yes, I would like to share. So for my next year goals, my first one, I want to read at least one book, real estate and leadership focus, for 1 hour a day, and at least one book a month for 12 months.
Okay.
And reason behind it, reading will allow me to gain comprehension in real estate, leadership, communication, and other areas needed to be a successful entrepreneur and investor. My second, I want to send out at least 2 LOIs a week and make my first deal of 50 plus units by my birthday, which is May 11th. So, okay. This will allow me to increase my net worth and pay off my debt completely. So that's my motivation. And just one more, I want to build a network of at least 50 investors and hopefully future partners and others in real estate that I have conversations with on at least a weekly basis. So just building that network, learning from others, and just partnering to build generational wealth and to sharing the experience of others as well. I think we're just on short-term goals right now, right?
Yeah, or you go in the long term, just you can highlight those too.
Okay, so I'll just give you my top 3 long-term goals. So okay. I want to increase my net worth to $1 million by December of 2024. This will give me the ability to fund my daycare initiatives that I have set forth in the future. It allowed me to have the means to give back to my alma mater, my HBCU, Fayetteville State University, go Broncos, and start a scholarship fund with them because they gave to me in my time of need, and I want to give back to them. So my second, to increase Scott Investment Group, that's my company with my sister and my dad. Okay. I want to increase our monthly operating income to $200K by December of 2024 as well, just so we can start generating that cash flow and be able to apply for different types of loans that would give us the ability to do a little bit more with our business. And my last long-term goal is I want to build a community center in my mother's hometown in my grandfather's name, because he owned a lot of land down there, and a lot of it was given back to the city. Kind of was problem of our own. We didn't do right by it, so it was taken back. So
Okay.
for what we currently have, I want to start a community center on it. The street is named after him, and I want to do that for him because everything that he done for our family to create that generational wealth by buying the land. What we have left, I want to be able to maintain that and continue to grow on that. So that's my third.
Man, that's phenomenal, man. That is awesome. And I think definitely those are some smart goals. I like the time frames. They're measurable. And I think that's gonna be super dope when you accomplish them. So salute to you, man, for sharing. Anybody else?
Sure.
We got time for one more. If not, we'll keep rolling. Well, yeah, we'll have time for sharing at the end too. So this one real quick. So take your short-term goal. We're gonna do this one real quick, take like 3 minutes. And because I know some of them we've been thinking about them already, but take that first short-term goal and we're gonna break it down into an action plan. What steps do I need to take to achieve this goal? How much time will it take to accomplish this goal? What obstacles could hinder or get in the way of me achieving this goal? We want to be realistic. We want to have that 2020 vision. We want to look out there and understand that, there's what could happen. And we want to kind of have a contingency plan in the back of our head just in case. And then what value, rewards, personal satisfaction will I get from accomplishing this goal? And I think that's the big one because life's going to happen. It's going to get tough at times. You will experience setbacks. But why are you committed to seeing this through and accomplishing this goal? So we'll take a couple minutes to knock this part out. All right. We're going to keep going here and press through as we wrap up. But we're going to listen to Steve Harvey here for about 3 minutes, just share this as we transition to this next step.
But it's in your Bible. It ain't just in rich people's Bible. It's in the same copy you got. You have not, cause you ask not. This is the truest statement you'll hear me say today. Because it's true. Most people don't have the life of their dreams because you don't ask God for the life of your dreams. You've been trying to figure it out and handle it yourself. Well, how that's working out for you? You know how hard that is to do, man? Because I did it. I did it for 30-some years. I tried to figure it out myself. Man, all the simple scripture says, you have not because you ask not. If you up your ask, he automatically ups his give. You his child. God created you. He made you. You ain't just here by no accident. You ain't here because of your mama and daddy. Where your mama and daddy come from? Somebody started this whole thing. God created you. He gave you these little simple things you can do. You have not because you ask. Second reason people don't have what they want. I'll be through with you. They don't have it written down. This is a very, very important piece to success. It's a principle of success. Every wealthy person knows this. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have a vision board. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have their stuff written on a piece of paper. I don't know nobody. I know a lot of people doing good. We have discussed it at great lengths. They showed me some of their vision boards that I had to go back and change mine. I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. But you gotta have a vision board, it's gotta be written down. You know why? Because that's a scripture too. Habakkuk 2:2. Go, I know where this one at. Habakkuk 2:2. Go home and read that one. It says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarry, that means take a long time, wait for it, for surely it will come at an appointed time. Man, I'm telling you real now. What I'm telling you works. This ain't no magic trick. If you up your ass and you write everything you want from God on a piece of paper, now here's the exercise. I'm gonna give you two things.
That's a great video and a lot of truth from Steve Harvey. And if you guys want to, I can see the link where or you can Google it and find that. It's worth watching. It's another few minutes. But he actually goes through and tells you to write down up to 300 things that you want from God, that you want him to pour into your life, in which 300 is a lot to go through. But it's something to just go down, to think through your mind, to wrap around what it is that you want. But the big takeaway from all this is going through and writing down these goals that from the different areas of our lives that we want. But then also, and we talked about the last, make it tangible. And one of the components of making it tangible, that T that's in SMART, is visualization. We visualize a lot of things, and it allows you to be able to kind of just glance real quick and have that jog in your mind, and your mind starts working. Okay, how do I put the pieces together so we can achieve this? Because we want this to happen. And use pictures to draw it. You know, you could just do pictures, put them on a board. You could use like a PowerPoint template. I use PowerPoint, and I went to the UPS store, like printed out graphics where I keep it right here. I got a couple versions of it, and I print it out and I keep it at my desk, bedroom, screensaver on my phone, just everywhere. When you look at like your desktop on your computer, when you're working, like, oh, boom, yep, locked in, let's go. This is what we're doing it for, whatever it is. And I'll share with you guys mine that I created. I created this one back in going into 2021. And we pretty much, I hadn't went to the Maldives. I hadn't went there and visited there yet. The Paris one was like, hey, I want to do more trips with the family, kind of share that piece. But buying apartment buildings, we've been able to accomplish that. And to the point where we almost got one that looks exactly like this one with the same brick, the black shutters, but it was 2 stories, it wasn't 3 stories. But it's crazy just how this works out. For us achieving the net worth, one to focus on wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Mentorship with starting my coaching program, being able to pour into more people. the house and the ammo, just being able to go direct to seller with our leads and focusing on that as our niche for its marketing. YouTube, being able to just pour into people, starting a YouTube channel. I wanted to do that. Apartment syndication Q&A. So I wanted to start raising money for apartment deals. I don't necessarily do syndication. I do more joint ventures where I bring, 4 or 5 people come on with me and we buy it together. We hold long term, because most times syndications are kind of short term that, you're usually selling 3, 5, 7 years. But I like to buy apartment buildings, and that's why I focus on smaller deals, 40 and below, whereas that I can sign on a loan, I can put my money into the deals, and then I can bring along 4 or 5 people that's interested, like-minded investors that's interested in long-term holding property, cash flow, passive income. It's like, hey, let's go buy this asset together and let's do it. Versus you could do larger buildings, but a lot of times with syndication, it has a termination date in the future where you got to sell so you can pay the investors off and all that. And so it's just a different model. The Corvette, yeah, it was crazy. I was gonna pull the trigger and get that last year, and then the apartment deal came in, and early on after we refinanced one apartment we bought in 20, I was like, oh yep, let me go and do it. And then boom, these 96 units came up, and I was like, oh wow, I got to do this. So priorities, and which is cool. We're gonna get there this year. And then family's priorities, the largest picture on the screen, with being able to just pour into the family, those that's important to me, and being able to kind of take care of them. And so that's for me, but everybody's going to be different. But at the end of the day, you got to develop these SMART goals in every facet of your life, whether it's your career, your academics, if you're getting ready to go into school, from the younger side, for personal, for you and your family, your health and wellness, that health is wealth. You got to be here to enjoy this wealth. It's no good to go and build up all this wealth and then you're not here or healthy to enjoy. You can't travel, you can't go and actually reap the benefits for your labor. And then the spiritual side, and then financial as well too, but being able to set SMART goals across the board for every facet of our lives. Leave you guys with this. Hey, success is an iceberg. You see it on the outside, every time we had a cliche statement, everybody, overnight success. I think the most recent thing that I saw that kind of summed it up was the World Cup. My son's a huge soccer fan, and I saw a meme of Messi, who's like the star soccer player from Argentina. And then he's like a 17-year overnight success that, he's been grinding and just playing all these years. And now everybody's all Messi, Messi, Messi. And like, he's been grinding for 17 years in order to get to the pinnacle of his career to win the World Cup now. And so that's the cool thing to see. But below the surface, people don't see the persistence, the failures, the sacrifice, the dedication, the hard work, and good habits that have to go into being successful. I salute you all for showing up this morning on a Saturday, because guess what? You're sacrificing time, you're establishing good habits, and you're dedicated because you're serious about setting goals. You saw the topic and you showed up for yourself. So I salute to you all. And just look forward to 2023. I'm excited. It's going to be a phenomenal year across on so many levels. And I know there's going to be some challenges. There are going to be some hurdles to go over, but that's okay. That's life. Because guess what? Whether we're working towards our goals or working towards being successful or not, or we just kind of BSing around and not really focused, life's gonna happen regardless. So we might as well be doing the things that we know we should be doing, setting up our family and future generations for success. Though I'm a true believer. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his family. And that's the thing for the next generation. And so that's the thing that, I look at now. Like I tell people, like, I'm good. The decisions, the opportunities I take advantage of, and all this stuff that I do now, this is for my grandkids. It's not even for my kids. My kids good. I'm good. This is for my grandkids. That they're set up, whether I meet them or not. Lord willing, I do. But if not, that they're gonna know that, hey, I took care of business and I set them up for success. And I want to help as many people as possible do the same thing. But that's it for today. I know we went over a few minutes, but yeah, anybody got any questions or anything, comments?
The only thing I got to say is appreciate you taking the time out and providing this session with us. Value add, definitely. So appreciate you, and just looking forward to more.
Most definitely. I appreciate you. All right. Pam, Kevin,
Yep.
Justin, anything? Anybody else?
No, I'm okay. Just same thing here. Me and Tamaya sitting here, thanking you. And we got to give you a call actually just to go over some things and get some questions out there. But yeah.
Okay. All good, cuz.
No, I'm
We're
good as
definitely
well.
grateful
Thank
to
you.
Awesome. Glad to have you as always.
It was good. It was
Alrighty.
good for me as well. Thank you.
Perfect. Then you guys be on the lookout. We're gonna set up these group accountability sessions starting off next week. So Faye's gonna be sharing some things going out with that. And yeah, and I look forward to you guys seeing you next week. You all know how to find me in chat. And y'all have a blessed week. Roll Tide, Alabama, 12 o'clock. We're about to kick off. So I'm about to get ready to get with the family and celebrate that. But no, y'all be blessed and have a great weekend and happy new year. And let's go. Let's go make some equity happen.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
New
Bye.